This segment on the 574 and More is sponsored by Linton's Enchanted Gardens. You're watching the 574 and More, and here we are on location at Linton's Enchanted Gardens with Mark Linton, and it looks like we have some shrubs here that are good to be planted in the shade.
Absolutely, and when you've got a shaded location, you want color, and sometimes that can be difficult to achieve. But today, we're going to show you how you can have pops of color in low light and shaded areas.
This one is really pretty with these red leaves right here.
And what this is a Pieris japonica andromeda, and it's a semi-evergreen flowering shrubs. And what we just missed were these lily of the valley-like type of white flowers, very pendulous. But then after it's done blooming with those flowers, it puts on a nice show of these bright splashes of red. And these are actually just leaves from the new growth. And this does great in low light and shaded areas.
Okay, so you're saying that these little flowers, they bloom what, in spring or early summer?
It bloomed for about 4 to 5 weeks earlier in the season, and then after it's done blooming, then you get a second showing with the bright red colored leaves.
Red, it's pretty, I love it. And this one's pretty too with the white flowers or ivory.
Yes, this is called Ruby Slippers Hydrangea. It's one of our oak leaf hydrangeas. Oak leaf because of the shape of the leaves, like an oak tree leaf. Ruby Slippers doesn't seem quite appropriate because we're looking at kind of lime green colored flowers, but Casey, later on in the season in the fall,
they're going to turn red.
They will, and they put on quite a show.
And
these start blooming late spring, they continue to bloom all summer and into the fall. There isn't anything that blooms more than hydrangeas, and hydrangeas these days are guaranteed to bloom.
Yeah, okay, so you'll have color, it sounds like all year long.
Absolutely.
Okay, now is there a trick? You know, when we're planting these, just, you know, nothing? No tricks?
There's
tips?
always tricks. The thing that we do to set you up for success is we grow these in containers. So what that does is ensure that there is zero transplant shock. And all you do is just simply slide it out of the pot, and you want to make sure that you're matching up your soil levels exactly the same. If you are putting soil on top of these roots, you're planting it too deep, and that's going to cause suffocation, and most likely you're not going to be a successful gardener.
Very good to know. So the hole that you dig needs to be just as big as the root system that we're
Great
pulling
question.
out.
We actually like to dig the hole twice the width of the root ball so that when you have the plant down in there, you backfill it with loose soil, and then those new roots have soft, loose soil that they can root into.
Okay, so twice as wide,
Yep.
but not twice as deep.
Exactly. You want to
Okay.
match up those soil levels.
That's good to know. What do we have here?
Well, this is one of my favorite shade-loving perennials. It's an astilbe, and we grow them in many, many different colors. They're available in red, white, pink, purple. This one happens to be peach and just heavily budded right now. It's called our peach blossom astilbe. And even when it's not in bloom, it has these beautiful fern-like type of leaves, but as an added bonus, you get these tall spikes of flowers, which attract butterflies. And if you want to take cuttings and bring them inside your house, it makes a beautiful vase arrangement.
Yeah, you can do that. Some ornamental grass here.
Absolutely. And you know what? 99% of ornamental grasses require full sun. And a lot of shade gardeners don't think that there's any options for ornamental grasses. Here it is.
It's right here.
This is our Japanese forest grass. And when you have this in low light shaded areas, this chartreuse green, almost a golden color, that really pops. It's a nice ornamental grass. It doesn't get too big, only about 18 inches in height and about 24 inches in width.
Is this the type of ornamental grass that when it's getting a little bigger than the space you provided it for, you can cut it in half and transfer?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
You're
good
correct.
to know. Some of them like to do that, some of them don't.
This one does.
This one does.
Yeah.
So if you're really excellent and it keeps growing and growing, you can split it in half and then put it someplace else.
Or
in the
bless
yard.
a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this looks like a tree.
It is one of the larger perennials. Actually, this gets to be about 3 to 4 feet in height. It is our chocolate snake root, also known as Semicifuga. Beautiful burgundy colored stems, and then nice detail on the leaves. And later on in the season, during the summer months, you're going to have even more height with tall spikes of white and pink colored flowers. I love this for some height in the garden.
Perfect. And this one's got some height too, and a little bit of red.
This is one of our many different types of bleeding hearts, and bleeding hearts, they have some of the most delicate flowers on them, and if you are into attracting hummingbirds, then you must have a bleeding heart.
Really?
This is our Valentine bleeding heart, and it starts blooming early spring and continues to bloom into the summertime.
Mark, let's tell everybody where you're located.
Very easy to find. We are in Elkhart on County Road 17. We're in between the toll road and the 20 bypass. Just look for the attraction signs.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Thanks for having us. And we're just going to take this one home with us. It's the 574 and more.